Welcome back to Change Your Life. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Lincoln Wheat Penny value coins, exploring their iconic design, hidden treasures, and shocking history as we reveal the top 3 most valuable and ultra-rare U.S. wheat pennies. The coins featured in this video include 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny, D Mint, Denver. 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, No Mint Mark, Philadelphia. 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny, D Mint, Denver. These historic pennies are struck in bronze composition and feature the classic wheat ears reverse design, one of the most iconic and beloved designs in American coinage. At first glance, these coins may appear dirty, worn, and heavily circulated, often showing signs of age and long use. But don't be fooled. Certain rare mint errors, varieties, and high-grade condition examples have turned some of these seemingly ordinary wheat pennies into collector treasures worth thousands, and in rare cases, even more, dollars today. Money bag. So before you overlook that old wheat penny sitting in your collection or coin jar, stick around, because you might be holding a hidden fortune in your hands. Backhand index pointing right first up. Coin number 1. A coin that looks small, ordinary, almost forgotten in time. The 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the D Mint mark from the United States Mint is exactly that kind of coin. Bronze in composition, worn from decades of circulation, and often found in old jars or collections, it doesn't immediately feel valuable. Scratches on the surface, faded color, softened details. Just a 1-cent coin. But sometimes, the smallest coins carry the biggest curiosity. This penny is part of the legendary Lincoln Wheat series, first introduced in 1909, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front. A symbol of leadership, history, and resilience. On the reverse, the wheat ears design frames the words 1 cent, a simple yet powerful image that defined American coinage for decades. By 1951, this design had already become iconic, passing through millions of hands across the country. Now imagine holding a 1951 D wheat penny today. In most cases, it is heavily circulated. The wheat lines may be worn down, the surface darkened with age, and the shine long gone. This coin has lived a long journey, through stores, markets, pockets, and everyday life. It has seen time pass, quietly, without attention. But then, the story changes. Because online, you start hearing something different. People claiming that coins like this could be worth thousands, even millions. And suddenly, that same small penny feels different. It feels important. Like it might be hiding something. But here is where reality begins to separate from hype. The 1951 D Lincoln Wheat Penny was produced in large numbers by the United States Mint in Denver. Millions of these coins were struck and released into circulation. That means it is not rare in normal, heavily circulated condition. Even today, it is commonly found in old collections and coin rolls. In coin collecting, value does not come from age alone. It comes from rarity, condition, and verified uniqueness. Collectors look for coins in extremely high grades, coins that look almost untouched, or coins with rare mint errors. These errors can include doubled dies, off-center strikes, or unusual variations in design. Without those rare features, the coin remains what it was always meant to be. A 1-cent piece of everyday currency. The bronze composition also tells part of the story. This coin was made from a mix of copper and tin, giving it durability and a distinct color. It was built to last, to circulate, to be used again and again. Not to sit as hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Still, the wheat ears design carries a sense of nostalgia. A reminder of a different era. A time when coins looked different, felt different, meant something more than just spending. But in the collector market, emotion alone does not create value. Scarcity does. And that is why coins like this go viral. Because people are drawn to possibility. To the idea that something so small, so ordinary, could secretly change their life. But real numismatics is not based on imagination. It is based on facts. A heavily circulated 1951 wheat penny does not appear in major auctions as a high-value coin. It is not known for extreme collector demand in standard condition. Its value remains modest unless it is in exceptional condition or has a rare, verified error. And yet, it still tells a story. A story of the early 1950s, of everyday transactions, of moments that came and went without notice. This coin has been part of real history, even if its value is not extraordinary. At the end, the truth becomes clear. This is not a hidden millionaire coin. Not a secret waiting to change your life overnight. It is a common wheat penny, with value based on condition and rarity, not hype. And that is the real power. Not in the coin itself, but in understanding what is real and what is not. A coin that almost everyone has seen, but very few have ever truly looked at. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark from the United States Mint is one of those coins. Small, simple, bronze in color, often darkened with age and covered in tiny scratches from decades of use. At first glance, it feels completely ordinary. Just 1 cent. Just pocket change. Something people once spent without thinking. And yet, sometimes, the most ordinary coins create the strongest curiosity. This penny belongs to the iconic wheat cent series, first introduced in 1909, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front. A symbol of history, leadership, and resilience. On the reverse, 2 wheat ears frame the words 1 cent, representing a design that defined American coinage for nearly half a century. By 1957, this design was nearing the end of its era, quietly circulating through millions of daily transactions across the United States. Now imagine holding a 1957 penny today. In most cases, it is heavily worn. The wheat lines may be faded, the surface dull, the color turned darker over time. This coin has lived a long journey, passing through stores, markets, pockets, and hands that never stopped to notice it. It has been part of countless small moments, everyday exchanges that came and went without memory. But then, something changes. Because online, the story becomes very different. You start hearing claims. Unexpected claims. That a simple coin like this could be worth thousands. Even millions. And in that moment, everything feels different. The same small penny now feels like a hidden opportunity. Like it might be something more. But here is where truth begins to separate from imagination. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark was produced in Philadelphia by the United States Mint in extremely large numbers. Millions upon millions were struck and released into circulation. That means it is a very common coin, even today. A heavily circulated example, worn, scratched, and aged, does not suddenly gain high value just because it looks old. In coin collecting, value is built on very specific factors: rarity, condition, and verified uniqueness. Collectors are not simply looking for old coins, they are searching for coins that stand out. Coins in near-perfect condition, or coins with rare mint errors that make them different from millions of others. And yes, there is something important about 1957 pennies. Some rare versions, like the famous double die variety, have gained attention among collectors. But those are extremely specific, verified cases. Not every 1957 penny has that feature. In fact, most do not. Without those rare characteristics, the coin remains what it was always meant to be. A 1-cent coin, used in everyday life. The bronze composition also tells its own story. This coin was made from a copper-based alloy, giving it durability and a warm, recognizable tone. It was built to last, to circulate, to be used again and again. Not to sit as hidden treasure waiting to change someone's life overnight. Still, there is something powerful about this coin. The wheat ears design carries nostalgia. A connection to a different time, a different era, when coins looked and felt different. But in the world of collectors, emotional value does not create high price. Scarcity does. And that is exactly why coins like this go viral. Because people are drawn to possibility. To the idea that something so small, so simple, could secretly hold incredible value. But real numismatics is not based on hype. It is based on facts, evidence, and verified rarity. A heavily circulated 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny does not appear in major auctions as a high-value coin in normal condition. It is not known for extreme collector demand unless it has a rare error or is an exceptional, near-perfect grade. And yet, it still tells a story. A story of the 1950s, of everyday life, of small transactions that built an entire economy. This coin has passed through countless hands, becoming part of history in a quiet, unnoticed way. At the end, the truth becomes clear. This is not a hidden millionaire coin. Not a secret waiting to change your life overnight. It is a common wheat penny, valuable mainly for its history, not for extreme price. And that is the real power. Not in chasing hype, but in understanding reality. Because in the world of coins, knowledge will always be worth more than imagination. A coin that looks completely ordinary at first sight, something most people would never stop to question. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the D Mint mark from the United States Mint is exactly that kind of coin. Small, bronze in color, often darkened, scratched, and heavily worn from decades of circulation. It feels like simple pocket change. Just 1 cent. Nothing more. And yet, this coin is one of the most interesting stories in American coin history. This penny belongs to the legendary Lincoln Wheat Cent series, first introduced in 1909, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front. A symbol of leadership, history, and national identity. On the reverse, 2 wheat ears frame the words 1 cent, a design that became one of the most iconic in U.S. currency. By 1944, this design was deeply embedded in everyday life, circulating through millions of hands during a critical period in world history. Now imagine holding a 1944 D penny today. In most cases, it is heavily circulated. The surface is worn, the details softened, the color faded into a darker bronze tone. This coin has lived through decades of movement, stores, markets, wartime economy shifts, and countless small transactions. It has been used, forgotten, and passed along without anyone stopping to think about it. But here's where things get interesting. Because in coin history, 1944 is not just any year. During World War II, the U.S. Mint made a major change in penny production due to copper shortages. Most 1944 pennies were made from recycled shell casing metal, a bronze composition, and were struck in huge quantities at the United States Mint facilities, including Denver. That is why the 1944 D penny is very common in circulation. However, there is a twist that makes people curious. Some rare experimental or error versions exist from this era, including extremely unusual steel or misstruck variations. These rare mistakes are what fuel online excitement. And that is where viral stories begin to grow. People hear phrases like thousands, even millions. And suddenly, a normal penny feels like a mystery waiting to be solved. But reality is very different. The standard 1944 D Lincoln Wheat Penny was produced in massive numbers. Millions were minted and released into circulation by the United States Mint. That makes it a very common coin today, especially in worn and heavily circulated condition. In coin collecting, true value does not come from age alone. It comes from rarity, condition, and verified mint errors. Collectors search for coins that stand out, coins that are different from the millions produced. Double strikes, off-center prints, or extremely high-grade uncirculated examples. Without those special conditions, the coin remains what it was originally designed to be. A 1 cent circulation coin. The bronze composition also tells the full story. This coin was built for durability and everyday use. Not for hidden wealth, not for instant fortune, but for constant circulation during a critical time in history. It was meant to be used, not stored as treasure. Still, the wheat ears design gives it emotional weight. It represents a time when American currency looked different, felt different, and carried a stronger connection to everyday life. But in the collector world, emotion alone does not create value. Scarcity does. And that is exactly why this coin goes viral online. Because people love the idea of hidden treasure. The thought that something so small, so normal, could secretly be life-changing. But real numismatics is not built on imagination. It is built on facts. A heavily circulated 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny does not appear in major auction records as a high-value coin in normal condition. It is widely available and commonly found in old collections and coin jars across the United States. And yet, it still carries history. A story of wartime America, of millions of small exchanges, of a coin that quietly moved through one of the most important eras in modern history. At the end, the truth becomes very clear. This is not a hidden millionaire coin. Not a secret fortune waiting to be discovered. It is a common wheat penny with historical value, not extreme market value. And that is the real lesson. Not every coin is rare. Not every viral claim is true. And not every ordinary object hides a fortune. Because in the world of coins, understanding reality will always be more powerful than believing hype.